Hello everyone, and welcome to part 2 of how I would fix Big World Big Adventures. So, in my previous part, I talked about fixing the Steam team, keeping Henry and Edward in the main cast, and just making some more space for Nia and Rebecca to sleep in. Anyways, now let's talk about the next part to this whole thing here. So, the next thing I want to talk about is Nia and Rebecca. Now, Nia and Rebecca are not perfect characters. I mean, they do have a lot of flaws, and it's so frustrating to think about. But let's start with Rebecca here. So, Rebecca is not too bad. I mean, the only thing I seem to like is that she's based off of a real-life engine, like a few other Thomas characters are. Anyways, the one thing that I'm not happy about is Rebecca's personality. Rebecca is just way too jolly and cheerful. And I know some of you might be saying, well, doesn't Rebecca, get scared when she sees a fire? And isn't Rebecca kind of sad that she's not, engines like Harvey and Belle? I mean, yes, that is true. I have seen the episode. Though I do forget what it's called because I haven't seen it in probably a long time. I haven't seen Big World Big Adventures in months. And I'm kind of glad I'm not, because I do not like that. But let's try and fix Rebecca's personality here. So, let's give her a proper introduction, because Rebecca just appears out of nowhere. And she's kind of a bit clumsy, because she bumped into Winston when she was first introduced. Okay, so how would I probably introduce Rebecca? Well, let's see. I do like the fact that she stood up to Gordon when he was being picked on the Flying Scotsman. But I would say, introduce Rebecca, make Sir Topham Hatt announce to all his engines that he's getting a new engine to help with the Express. Which probably makes engines like James and Gordon excited. And then explain that this engine's from the mainland and she'll be here the next day. So the next day arrives and Rebecca comes. And then that's your introduction. You can introduce Rebecca to the engines. She can show her true power. That's one thing I want to talk about. So, how I would change Rebecca's personality is probably make her a little like the other engines. All the engines are unique because they have a few flaws. I would say give Rebecca a few flaws. Just try not to make her as happy as before. Give her, episodes where she's worried or nervous. Probably even, feel other emotions, if she's scared or annoyed or shocked or pretty depressed. Like all the other engines do. I mean, Thomas and Friends, not all the engines are always cheerful. There are some times where they're going to get angry or scared. So I would say do the same thing for Rebecca here. And one problem I would give her is that in real life, the Golden Arrows have wheel slips. So probably give Rebecca a wheel slip as well. And probably make an episode with that problem and a few other things. I would say Rebecca should, talk to Henry or Edward about her wheel slip problem, and they might be of assistance. Because Edward and Henry are some mature characters, mind you. They do mean well, and they know what they're talking about. Henry may get sick, but he's still a good character. Alright, so I don't know if I could say much more to fix Rebecca's personality. But hey, I mean, now we have two problems fixed here. Okay, don't know how well I did with Rebecca, so let's just move on. Now, Nia. Where do I even begin? Okay, so Nia was in the movie Big World Big Adventures, and let me explain the problem I had with her. Now, her personality is that she taught Thomas that two engines are better than one, which is okay. But one of the dumbest things about her personality is that she does not know numbers. Like, she went over the speed limit and derailed just because she doesn't know what numbers look like. I mean, I will give credit for Annie and Clarabelle teaching Nia how to look at numbers, but I still think that's kind of dumb of Nia to think about. And one of the problems I had with Big World Big Adventures is not just the fact that Thomas went to see the world without consent, but Nia just tags along with Thomas, and she's now like abandoning Africa and leaving her friends behind. I mean, shouldn't she at least tell someone where she's going before she actually goes? That's one problem I would fix. Another problem I have is that in the movie, almost at the very end, Nia and Thomas almost arrive to Silver. They make it to the Vickerstown Bridge. And Nia then explains that she doesn't have a home. Excuse me. And then Thomas just says that she can come and live with Sodor. And I bet he wouldn't mind if Tom would want a new engine. But the thing is that there was one episode from the Andrew Brenner era, aka the Renaissance era, where Thomas says, "A new engine, but you have so many. So why can't you be consistent anymore?" Anyways, Nia's not too bad for saying that 2 engines are better than 1. Though I would change her personality a little bit. Okay, so how can we exactly change Nia? Well, actually, give her a more smarter personality. Like, make her at least a little intelligent. Like, give her some maturity. Like, make her to the point where she knows how to count and she knows what numbers are. Because she literally has a number on the side. How can she not notice that? Alright, so one thing that I would also do to change their appearance is that their red running boards look kind of uninteresting to look at. Like, both Nia and Rebecca have red running boards. I would say give them a splash of white like all the other characters. And if you want to, like, since now they're a part of the cast, you could change their numbers. I know some of you might disagree with this, but I'm just going to say it. I think you should make Nia number 8. I think you should make Rebecca number 9. And if you want to give Emily a number, make her number 10. Now, I know some of you are going to be saying, yo, Duck, Donald, Douglas, Oliver, have those numbers. Duck is number 8, Donald's number 9, Douglas is number 10, Oliver's number 11. That is true, and we still haven't gotten a number 12 engine, which is probably why they gave Emily the number 12. That isn't really bad. Like, it kind of reminds me of James Fan 1991 giving Emily the number 12, probably giving Rosie the number 13, and giving Lady the number 14, which is kind of interesting. Anyways, I think that's how I would change Nia and Rebecca's personalities. So, with that now out of the way, now let's talk about one of the last problem here that I have with this series. It's probably going to be a little bit more easier than this. Okay,